Bulking up, adding significant amounts of muscle mass, and gaining a lot of strength is an arduous task on its own. The last thing you want to do is overcomplicate it by trying to eat lean meats and clean foods in order to actually see your gains. If you're a skinny guy trying to bulk up, being restrictive with your diet is one of the biggest mistakes you can make. It's probably the last thing you want to do. As long as you can maintain the right amount of calories and the right amount of protein, which you can literally get just from eating very simple basic foods such as rice and chicken, you have now completed the diet problem which 95% of skinny guys struggle with. Now, I know I said that solves the problem that 95% of skinny guys deal with, but let's dive in a little bit more just to be clear. Here's what, if you ask a skinny guy why they can't eat enough, they don't know the answer. They'll be like, bro, I ate so much food and I ate all these calories and I just can't grow. But when you look at them eat, you see the way they eat, you see their habits. They're extremely picky. They won't, for example, eat food that's been out for one day, or they won't eat food that's not tasting good or not cooked extremely fresh. And I can just tell just by looking at that kind of behavior. It's like, dude, you're not actually eating food. You're not actually eating a lot of food. You're only eating food for like the taste and for like a little bit of sustenance. You're being very nitpicky. If you want to eat to get big, you actually have to vacuum everything in front of you. That's the kind of mentality you have to have towards food. I'm not saying, not eating food that's a day old is keeping you small, but it's just the mentality of how you treat food. Just having that kind of mentality towards food shows me that you are not eating enough food, because someone who eats to get big doesn't have that mentality towards food. Someone who eats to get big always cleans their plate, always finishes their plate. Sometimes I look at these people as well, and it's like, wow, I ate this whole sandwich, and I look at the plate, and it's like the crust is like the smile where little kids like leave the crust because they don't like it. It's like they left it like that. It's like, dude, you didn't even finish that. And I'm not saying that little bit of crust is going to make them big, but it's the mentality around the food as to why they left that crust is the reason they're not big. Your relationship with food is not about being picky, about leaving stuff behind, about cleaning your diet. All of that stuff is all related, and it's all not going to get you anywhere. What your relationship with food needs to be, I am eating everything in front of me because I know that if I want to get big, I gotta eat big. Whether it's mom's cooking, protein chicken, store-bought shawarma, fast food, whatever it is, you're eating everything in front of you. That's the kind of mentality you gotta have around food. Not, this is a day old, let's get something different. I finished my plate, but I'm just gonna leave the crust behind and I'm gonna leave, this little bit of food behind. The truth about diet is, a lot of you guys, even though it's very simple, it's not that complicated in order to gain mass, in order to get big. A lot of people just don't realize how little they're eating. You have to eat till you're full. You have to realize the feeling of being absolutely full needs to be a constant feeling if you want to grow, if you want to, gain size. If you finished a meal and you're not feeling full, then you haven't eaten enough. You got to realize in order to grow, you're pushing your body's limits all around. That requires intense training, and that also requires really good source of fuel on the back end. Now you actually need to show up, be consistent, be disciplined, and put in a shit ton of effort. When you bulk up, your discipline, your consistency, and your effort in the gym is what's going to drive your progress and your growth. You see, that's where most skinny guys fail. I've seen it in the gym, I've seen it in my coaching, and you can just tell by looking at them. A lot of you guys are not disciplined. A lot of you guys are soft, are weak. I can tell just by looking at you that you're not the kind of person who's going to push themselves extremely hard. You just don't have it in you yet. But you know what? That's okay, because that's something that we're here to work on. We're here to build up.